Doom kidnapped Franklin Richards and took him to a place called Universe X. I think there's a mixture of truths and lies and just some fan fiction. This team is tasked with resolving the incursion between two worlds and rescuing Monica Rambeau. If anyone were to go to them and say like, hey, we need to go rescue Monica. Yeah. They'd be like, who's Monica?
Who's Monica?
Yeah.
Who's Monica?
Who the hell is Monica?
She's been in secret the entire time.
Right.
Nick Fury really only knows her.
Invincible Avengers fighting in the X Mansion and Avengers Doomsday. Rumors.
Agatha all along season 2.
Rumors. Thor's dead. Long live Hercules. Rumors. Hey, I don't even go here. This is New Rockstars Rumor Rundown, where we look at all the crazy Marvel and other types of rumors that are floating around the internet, not credited to any source, but spreading like wildfire nonetheless. And we here at New Rockstars put our journalistic integrity on the line and put our weight on the scales to decide whether a rumor is a true scoop or a true poop. I'm here with Jessica Clemons, but I am an anonymous source here at New Rockstars.
What are you wearing, anonymous source?
I'm wearing a hoodie from a non-Marvel franchise. I'm wearing sunglasses. And please don't tell anyone who I am. If you're watching us on YouTube, you know what I look like. But if you're listening to us on podcast, I am covering my identity right now. We're getting a little too hot here at the Rumor Rundown. People are aware of us doing what we're doing, and it's not exactly as safe as it used to be calling bullshit on some of these dark internet sources who like to just spread these rumors and then just profit off of lies. And I feel like I've just gotten a little too close to the truth.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous for you.
Actually, it's me, Eric Voss. I couldn't keep the secret anymore, but don't tell anyone, all right? Just promise, all of you watching, don't tell anyone that I'm doing what I'm doing because this work is too important. And we can't stop.
The Coke bottle that's like half empty and the pack of cigarettes over there that are all smoked.
Yeah, I think I kind of gave away my identity with just the sip of backwash of cherry Coke.
Well, you are a crazy person, man. You're becoming a lunatic.
When I get a little too worried about whether we're getting too close to the truth, I'm going to resume my hidden identity.
I think you're going to have to resume that hidden identity soon.
Oh, why? Because we have some crazy scoops coming our way?
I've only heard, and I'm afraid to even announce this scoop. You're announcing it.
Well, let's see. We have our New Rockstars anonymous scooper that we have in the shadows, and they are so in the shadows right now that all I see are a pair of gleaming eyes. Is it Sentry? Is it Bob Reynolds Sentry over there?
Don't take anything from him.
Well, I have to. It's just a creepy, long-fingered hand
Before you
reaching
touch
out toward me.
Are you prepared to go to your worst memory?
Let's see.
Okay, think about it. Think about it before you touch his hand.
Okay, well.
Eric!
Wow. I'll never be able to go back to that Chuck E. Cheese. I'll have my birthday parties at Adventure Landing.
Brought to you by Adventure Landing.
In Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, well, here's our first scoop. It is ice cold. Feel this. It's ice cold.
Wait, why?
I don't know. It is like reversing the laws of entropy. Here we go. Oh, wow. Wow.
They iced it.
Look at this. It really looks like a magnifying glass was taken just to the center of it. How was this accomplished?
I have no idea.
Just get that.
I'll never tell.
All right.
Read it.
Our first rumor for this week comes from James Mackwell, Mackwell, who claims massive Avengers Doomsday leak details incursion plot, Dr. Doom's plan, and new Avengers roster. According to the leak, members of the design team are working on concept art related to a major battle at Mansion X. One piece of artwork is titled Invincible Avengers. In Avengers Doomsday, this team is tasked with resolving the incursion between two worlds and rescuing Monica Rambeau. These heroes, along with other characters from that universe, later protect Loki at the Citadel after finding the TVA and Dr. Doom's plan. Oh boy, I have to go into my mode here. I'm getting too close.
Your hood's messed up at the top.
Sunglasses back on, hoods over the head.
Okay.
It goes on to say, The team of Avengers includes Sam Wilson, Thor, Captain Marvel, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man, Scott Lang, Jennifer Walters, Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Bob, Bruce Banner, Shuri, M'Baku, Namor, and the Fantastic Four, who joined the mission because Doom kidnapped Franklin Richards, the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, and took him to a place called Universe X. Meanwhile, John Walker, Ghost, and Red Guardian remain on Earth 616 alongside other Avengers to protect the planet from an unknown invasion. The remaining Thunderbolts unite with Wakanda, Talokan, and the Sorcerers, led by Wong, to help defend Earth. This is a massive rumor, just in terms of its bulk.
Just in terms of its bulk?
It's a bulky, thick
rumor. Is it
rumor.
describing the concept art, or do you think it was described already? Like, was the concept art attached with that?
I think what they're talking about is concept art, like artists who are working, the design team, working on concept art. And we already know that concept art is something that is not like storyboard art. Can we talk about the distinction between what is storyboard art and what is concept art? So storyboard art is something that normally we do not see until after a movie comes out. Here, I can take off my identity here. It's me, Erik Voss again.
Oh, hey.
Storyboard art is often fairly simple and usually not like filled in with colors or anything like that. It is just like monochromatic sketches. Sometimes looks very simple. It's just like whatever the director will do, or director working with artists will do to kind of visualize some complex sequences. Often storyboard artists are very, very good artists, or people who also have done comic books and graphic novels and things like that. To just kind of convey the action, and there's usually a shorthand in the concept art. It's different or in the storyboard art, it's different across animation to live action generally, because animated movies are often storyboarded out before they are scripted. So if someone has written an animated film, it usually comes after a team of story artists have storyboarded out different versions of it. So the storyboards are arguably more important in animation than they are in live action, but because so many Marvel and Star Wars movies are prevised, the previs is kind of like the animation process. So the director, whoever the head of story is on the project, the studio executives who are prevising out these things rely on storyboard art. Concept art is something that is far less structured, and Marvel Studios will employ a lot of different concept artists on design teams for movies, or design teams that are working across multiple movies, to just conceive of different lineups of heroes that are either in a fight or in a team up or something like that. We've seen lots of concept art sometimes we see it before it comes out. We've seen some concept art for Avengers Doomsday, and the Russo brothers even said you're allowed to show it and talk about it because it's not going to be used in our movie. We'll see if they were lying or not. But we've seen after the fact, whenever these movies come out, usually a year later, you'll see the art of whatever it is come out, and then if you'll flip through those pages and see all kinds of concept art. For Avengers Endgame, there was like some crazy concept art where like Captain Marvel and a ton of other characters were dogpiling on Thanos, and we never saw an all at once dogpile on Thanos in Endgame, specifically with characters who were not there for Infinity War who came back, including Carol Danvers. There was a wizard battle between Doctor Strange and Thanos in Infinity War that was visually, vibrantly concept art depicted that was not in the final version of the movie. So there's like two ways we can judge this claim from James. One, in terms of, is the description of the concept art a legitimate description of the concept art? And two, is that concept art something that will actually be in the movie?
Yeah, that's the hard part, is deciphering the two. I think the description for the concept art is sound. I think this makes sense. If you get given 400 prompts to write, one of these is definitely one of the prompts. Now, are we going to see, and that's the hard part, is the team members make sense, because what we know from the photos of what they're shooting are they shooting in Atlanta, or are they shooting in
they're shooting in London, they're shooting in Bahrain, and they're probably doing some stuff in Atlanta
a
too.
lot of those people cross with that. I have not been seeing anything with Tatiana Maslany though, for She-Hulk. But it makes sense. It doesn't sound like off. It makes sense, because we also do think that someone's going to be taking Franklin Richards, or someone wants Franklin Richards. And if it is Doom, that I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think there's a mixture of truths and some lies in here, and just some fan fiction. I think claiming that this is coming from concept art is a very easy thing to do, because we know concept art has a wide range of possibilities, and often they are not in the movie. So it's just an easy thing to say, well, it was made for concept art. Like for Spider-Man No Way Home, there was going to be a Mysterio appearance around the Statue of Liberty. Mysterio was not ultimately in the final battle of Spider-Man No Way Home.
But this concept art is still just, it makes sense though.
I think it mostly does.
It mostly does. The part that I'm attached to that I'm like, oh, I can see in the movie is because they're saying Dr. Doom is stealing that baby.
Yeah, but doesn't that seem like something that someone could have just taken from another rumor that's going around? I don't want to get into too many details, but that's often how these rumors start, is they'll take one piece of something that's very popular, that's trending, based off of like some rumor that's going around, and then use it with mix it together with some
100%.
confirmed or plausible stuff, and then it makes your source look even more plausible.
No, 100%. But I think because it's so non-groundbreaking that it's plausible. I don't think it's so surprising that Doom steals Franklin Richards.
Right.
As soon as we saw Franklin Richards, we saw 2 different ships. You noticed 2 different ships. Shout out to Erik Voss.
It wasn't just me. It was not just me.
I saw
Many
a lot of people that
saw.
were like, new Rockstars did this. And I was like, oh, that was Erik. But since we know there's 2 different ships, it's like, yeah, even if we don't want it to be a Superman baby, it feels like it's going to be a Superman baby where it's going to be picked up by someone else.
Okay.
So that's where I'm like, it's not as like crazy. And I could see the Russos being like, yeah, we are doing that.
Yeah. I think what makes it feel legit to me is I really do think by getting Michael Giacchino to do the score, that the roadmap that Matt Shackman used was very much inspired by Pixar's Incredibles. And one of the best moments of Pixar's Incredibles is at the end where you think they're done, and then they go home and Syndrome is there with the baby. And it's one of the most terrifying moments. Just the fact that it's in their kitchen and it happens so fast. Rewatching that as a parent, it scares the shit out of me. So that visual or that twist ending the Fantastic Four First Steps movie, I think could happen. I think it is plausible. Now, in terms of the exact lineups of these different groupings, that's where I'm like, okay, then that would be concept art.
Yeah, this is concept art, I think.
Yeah.
And they listed off just like the ones.
Well, and I also think like She-Hulk is in a lot of the concept art. I think it's possible that Tatiana's not in Doomsday. Like she could be in Secret Wars.
Do you think She-Hulk? But you think She-Hulk is going to still show up, but not Tatiana Maslany?
No, I don't think the character at all. I just think it's a very expensive thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I think they'd be fools to not have some Hulk characters in there, because Hulk characters are what just makes something feel Marvel to me, and to a lot of people. Like a big hulked out green person is just like, yes, this is not a Marvel TV thing, even though She-Hulk was Marvel TV. Yeah, it just adds that production value.
100.
It does add a lot to the budget though.
I mean, we also got that concept art that it was in Madripoor with all those people hanging out, like the Marvel champions plus Wong plus Star-Lord, and it's like, okay, this isn't happening.
Yeah. So I think the exact lineups I'm taking with a major grain of salt.
100%.
But I do think we're going to go to the X Mansion.
Yeah,
the fact that they're calling it Mansion X and Universe X might just be some shorthand among the concept artists.
100.
But I do think that is the X-Men universe. I think we are going to Charles Xavier's estate. But I don't know if like it's going to be that important to rescue Monica Rambeau.
No.
That seems like they're just trying to connect the dots.
Yeah.
It seems like a new Rockstars theory at that point, right?
But
like,
also, is it like
are they really that concerned with rescuing Monica Rambeau? Or is it just like, oh, hey, you're here. Great.
I think we're saying that, but would it be, I wouldn't be surprised if the Russos did do that. Like, I would not be surprised if they had it in there. Because I do not want to stray too far that the fact that it's still Marvel, and Marvel really wants to stay close to this big thing. So I'm sure Kevin Feige's like, well, we got to find a way to bring Monica back in. And there's like a little side note that's like, we save her here. So that's why I'm like, I could see it happening. I don't think it's logical. I don't think it's not needed.
I kind of just feel like, so we're talking about the team members of Sam Wilson, Thor, Captain Marvel, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man, Jen Walters, Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Bob, Bruce Banner, Shuri, M'Baku, and Namor. Like if anyone were to go to them and say like, hey, we need to go rescue Monica, they'd be like, who's Monica?
Who's Monica?
Yeah.
Who's Monica?
Who the hell is Monica?
She's been in secret the entire time.
Right.
She's only Nick Fury really only knows her.
I think Carol would not ask the other Avengers. She'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go
do it.
I don't need your help. I'll go get her. And then maybe, Kamala, do you want to come with me?
Yeah, and she would know her.
Yeah.
But that's also, and this is the thing, is like, I understand you put Namor in here just because he's in the chair. Namor is not helping these people.
Yeah, what's he gonna do? I hope a river goes to No, he's great.
Is there water anywhere? Please, someone get a glass of water really quick. I will fly on top of it.
I think his wings were severed during Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Remember?
He can grow them back.
Well, he did have bandages on his feet in that final scene, and I think I don't know if we were to say like while he's painting and. Namora is like, you suck, dude.
Like, yeah, why would you do that? He straight up, what is it? Vincent Van Gogh himself a little bit. He was like, I lost my wings and now I'm gonna paint. Now I shall paint.
I think he painted, then he cut off his ear.
Oh, that's true. My bad. He didn't find it after the ear got cut off. But also, it's just like, yeah, well, okay, not should be this person, but what is Namor gonna do? And also, I need to see that beef between Namor and literally everybody before I see this scene. Yeah. He's not gonna help any of these people. He hates people. He hates humans. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, I think Namor's role could be as a mutant. He could be as an ambassador to mutant kind in another universe.
Like,
I
think he's this is a different Namor?
I think in 616, Namor could just kind of proclaim himself as king of the mutants of the 616 Earth. And then so when they're like, we'll only talk to someone who has an X gene, he could just be an ambassador. He could talk to them, but be like, I understand how you feel.
He's like, no. He's like, those aren't my people. They're not underwater.
Yeah.
That man's using metal.
Yeah. I think that there's going to be some elements in this leak or scoop that are true. I think a lot of them are not.
What do you think about the last part? Meanwhile, John Walker, Ghost, and Red Guardian remain on Earth 616 watching, waiting for the invasion.
See, I think this is incorrect because Ghost, Ava Starr, that actress has been in Bahrain with the rest of them. And we know she's shooting stuff with them. These other actors, Wyatt Russell, David Harbour, are not in those shoots in Bahrain. So 100%. She's going to be doing something with the other group of the cast. So I just think that's, again, concept art. I think there's going to be some of this stuff that's partially accurate and a lot of it that's not.
The remaining Thunderbolts unite with Wakanda while the main people of Wakanda are not there. Talokan, while the main person of Talokan's not there.
Yeah.
And the sorcerer is led by Wong, because Wakanda and the Talokan know who Wong is, to help defend Earth. Yeah, that last part's weird.
There'd just be a lot of first act work in the script that would be required to set up how these arrangements would be formed.
And I'm going to underline what you said just a minute ago. Concept art. This concept art does not need to make.
I also just feel like this is one of, I don't know, we've heard a lot of, often when you hear from My Time to Shine Hello, Daniel RPK, some of these other ones, what these rumors are this. They don't say that they're coming from concept art, but they're looking at things like concept art. They're talking to people who have seen concept art. They're talking to people who've seen casting grids, where it's just like a list of names. It's not a real confirmation. There's no like real paperwork that's been signed. It's just like, we would like one of these 12 people to play this role. And then they'll name one of those people and grab a picture of them and put them next to the comic book character and put it out on social media. And then that's how the rumor starts. In this case, they're literally saying that it did come from concept art. And I think like, if you know that, why aren't we seeing the concept art? Yeah. Like, who are the people and who are these artists who feel so confident talking to you after one of these concept artists was just terrified and might have gotten her career
you just marked, detailed her entire
I think if anything, concept artists are afraid to talk to anyone right now.
I think as a scoop, which we'll get into at the end, I think as a scoop for concept art, it makes sense. Yeah, 100%. And this is the podcast where we're like, but it will not probably be in that movie.
Yeah.
This is just concept art. I wish they could underline concept art, but again, why would you do that when it's a tweet that's just posed really quickly?
I guess one question I would have from this is like, what do you think the term invincible Avengers means? Like, does that mean specifically Avengers who have like kind of, who are either gods or have a certain type of cosmic radiation or have a certain threshold of invulnerability? Like, you know, your Hulks, your Thors, your Carol Danverses. Like, would you consider Sam Wilson to be an invincible Avenger?
No, but I could see Marvel giving them those names just because of their heart and their spirit. They're like, they're the invincible ones because they will get back up no matter what. And I'm like, well, technically, they're not invincible. But and the show Invincible would beg to differ. That's the reason why he's called Invincible. He can always come back. So that's why I'm like, I could see Marvel giving them that name from heart. Because they will put like a Sam Wilson on that team. They're gonna put like a person that can get shot and killed.
Or it seems like something that you say just to kind of like mock them. Like, oh, who do we have here? The Invincible Avengers, I see. We'll see about that. And then Doom just says, fly, my bots.
Oh, wait, he's the Wicked Witch? He is the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
He is the
I
Wicked
mean, he
Witch,
is.
to be fair. He is the Wicked Witch, to be fair. Okay, good long scoop. I also want to highlight, this was the tweet. The massive Avengers Doomsday leak details incursions, plot, Doctor Doom's plans, and the new Avengers roster. You had to read the article to figure out that it was concept art.
Yeah. Okay. Good scoop. We'll judge it at the end of this podcast.
I'm going to fight someone.
On to our next one. Okay. You threw it on the ground.
Why did you throw it on the ground? Oh, he slapped
my face with something.
Oh, no. And you can't go to the HR. They're not going to allow it.
I can't. No, they're not.
He's
employees.
our owner. Kill him.
I'm not going to kill him.
Murder.
Okay, this is our second scoop of the episode.
Tiny.
This is a little itty bitty one.
Compared to the full
This is
8 ounces.
Thick. Yeah. This is. I'm trying to think. This is the dusty dad. This is the skinny wife. Oh. Right.
Wimpy. Hefty.
I don't know what this
is. Is it the garbage bag commercial? Now you remember.
Okay. So this comes from just someone who calls himself MCU Source.
Sorry, I did not laugh. I didn't laugh. You guys, it's fine. It's perfect.
MCU Source.
Hell yeah, dude.
We don't know what MCU Source is. They will not respond to who they are. It is just a Twitter account called MCU Source.
I know exactly who they are. They're MCU Source.
They're called MCU Source. And they say, #Marvel Television's Agatha All Along has been officially renewed for season 2. Now, the reason this came onto our radar is anytime you say anything about Wanda or Agatha on Twitter, there is an army of people who want this to be true, will spread it and comment on it and do bits on it. And I love that army. I love that army.
The bits that come underneath it, they said, "Get back to the road, bitches." I'm glad that they're having fun with this, but let's get down to the real brass.
Okay. From what we can tell, no, we don't think there's now. We think this would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I think Marvel should have a season 2 of Agatha. We think it was a very big title, but not big enough for Marvel. It did have a huge cultural impact.
It did.
And that's why I think Disney Plus should do a season 2 of it. It's just right now, I believe Patti LuPone said it's not happening. Jack Schaefer has kind of indicated that the door might be open, but I think she's just like hoping she gets a call from
also,
Marvel Studios.
Again, the door could be open. It's just not coming for 3, 4, 5 years.
Right.
But also, I mean, I don't know how much they like publicize it now, but they still had this show in a trilogy with Vision Quest. And they were like, this is all a love letter to WandaVision. And then it's gone.
Yeah.
So bringing in Agatha season 2 kind of disrupts that plan. It's kind of like, oh, where is it going to go now if it was a part of a trilogy? Is it still going to connect with Wanda, and how much so? And if Wanda shows up in like Doomsday or Secret Wars, like how much is that going to affect Agatha All Along season 2? And where are they going to even be? It's a lot of like mishigosh that and money behind it all too. I don't think they're looking at it right now.
Well, here's what I'll say. I think an Agatha All Along season 2 could be what I really wanted Agatha All Along season 1 to be. Agatha All Along season 1 was really fun. I really enjoyed it, but it was ultimately just kind of a who am I story. That was almost an origin story for Agatha, even though she's been around for forever. An origin story of the ghost form of Agatha, you could say. And now that the characters have both been fully realized, both her and Billy have been realized and activated, I want to see what adventures they go out on together. Go find someone new, even if it's not searching for Tommy. Like, I would love to see the two of them find a new group of kids or something like that, or some other troubled witch, or there's some other crisis that's threatening the world of witchcraft that the two of them are the best people to help solve. You know, I think there could be a really, really fun season 2. Getting to the history of Rio and how Lady Death met Agatha. That was an unanswered question for season 1.
I love the first season so much. I genuinely don't know what a second season would look like. And I don't know how interested I would personally be following just her and Billy just like traveling. I think my favorite part of The Witches Road were the witches. And if we did make another story with another group of witches, it would just feel like too much like season 1. So you would have to do something different. So I'm just like, I want it. And also, again, I'm also a person that's overly obsessed with the shared universe of the MCU. So I'm like, whatever you do here, I want to know how it affects other things down the line. But I also want to know how everything else already affected this show. And if nothing affected it, then what the hell are we doing? I want you guys, and I also want them. I want them to go look for Tommy. I want them to go look for Tommy. I'm like that was like your whole ending was being like, I have a brother. I need to find him. And if he's going to show up in Vision Quest, where's Agatha season 2 going to go with that?
What if there's an Agatha season 2 that picks up with however Wonder Man leaves off? Because we have the Grim Reaper and Wonder Man. You could make it like a West Coast Avengers story. Like Agatha season 2 could go to the West Coast.
She's
and
on
talk
the
to
East
some
Coast right
West
now.
Coast.
Okay.
You know, the craft takes place in the LA area, right? Like you could go to some like LA area witches.
LA witches, and let me tell you, every woman here is a witch.
I just think Agatha
we're all
Harkness was
witches.
part of like the West Coast Avengers storyline. She was someone who was located there, and I think I would love to see Agatha's ghost on the West Coast.
That'd be ridiculous.
West Coast ghost.
West Coast Coast. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Agatha ghost, coast.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It just didn't come out right. Yeah, it's so interesting.
Well, here's the thing. It could be silly. Like we're seeing a divide between Marvel movies and Marvel TV. And right now, Marvel TV is still in kind of an uncertain space. We'll see what happens with Ironheart. I have high hopes for it. Vision Quest could be very interesting. Wonder Man could be interesting. But like anything that seems like a pretty interesting, quirky, weird TV show, pull that thread, see where it goes.
I think it would make fun. But I think you have to be like, whatever money you give it. I also think was Agatha really that expensive since it was all shot? Like it was just sets. It was just
there
sets.
was some VFX, and I think the talent didn't come cheap.
The talent did not come cheap. Maybe cheap out on that a little bit next time. You don't need to get Broadway star Patty Lupo.
And I don't know what contract Catherine Hahn signed with Marvel. Maybe she signed a contract starting with WandaVision, but like Aubrey Plaza, Patty LuPone, they didn't come cheap.
They did not come cheap. Catherine Hahn is probably.
Who do you think was the number one? I mean, Catherine Hahn was number one on the call sheet, but who do you think was the highest paid?
It had to be Patty LuPone after Catherine.
I think
Patty
Aubrey.
LuPone has a good. Well, that's the thing.
I think
Patty LuPone gave Aubrey Plaza her team, so it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure probably Patty LuPone goes first and then Aubrey Plaza.
Well, I think Aubrey Plaza per episode maybe was more, but she was only in like 3 or 4 episodes.
That is true. I could see that too. I just could see Patty LuPone's team being like, if you want her this much and she's gonna sing, yeah, no. Here's a lot of money. Here's another pool. Here's another pool.
I think there's all kinds of cool places that you could go for a season 2 of Agatha, but I don't think Marvel Studios is going to go there.
Not yet.
I don't think. I think this
also,
is.
It's just.
Who the f are you, MCU source?
Who are you, dude?
It's just
Who
a bullshit.
Are you? But I will say,
it's probably a kid somewhere.
Confidence.
Yeah, I
confidence
know.
Is like officially
renewed.
Could you imagine if we tweeted out like some crazy thing and said officially?
All caps, official.
Officially. Yeah. Officially. Dude, MCU source, brave, dude. You brave as hell because that's crazy to say officially renewed, not have a single like source underneath that source. But go off. If you're right, in 5 years, I'm not going to count it. I'm not going to count it.
Because anybody could say that.
Yeah, anyway, oh my God. I could say so many things that could come true in the MCU in 20 years. Blade's coming.
That's right. It's
Blade's
official.
coming.
Blade's been official. I mean, he has
Blade
been.
is officially, yeah.
Yeah.
Blade's coming to theaters.
No further comment.
No further comment.
All right, we have another scoop, I believe, coming our way. This one is being held in the mouth of a weird little pig.
Oh.
There's a weird little pig who's got it in his mouth, and he's just like showing it to me.
Little piggy.
Oh, the pig bites. Okay, little pig. What have you brought?
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Ooh, another tiny one.
A little tiny one.
Okay, our third rumor of this week is a Hercules project is reportedly in the works at Marvel Studios, according to Daniel RPK. All right, well, we like Daniel RPK here at the Rumor Rundown. He tends to not bullshit that much, and I think saying that a Hercules project is in the works is something that we could say after Thor: Love and Thunder came out. And sure, why not?
This was how you were supposed to frame the Agatha Along season 2. Yeah. You were supposed to say is in the works.
Reportedly in the works. I think it is in the works along with 45 other titles at Marvel Studios, 40 of which we'll never see.
I think, oh my God. Respectfully, which you are completely right on. You are completely right on. We are never going to see probably. But I'm hoping for him at least, like, for when it comes to, well, no, I guess Blade was a big deal too. I was like, when it comes to like actors and their roles, this is one you don't want to kind of mess up, right? What's the actor's name again?
Brett Goldstein.
Brett Goldstein. Yeah. And the shitty thing was when he showed up, it was like at the time where we were all watching Ted Lasso, so it was he's really big.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him that much since.
Well, there's going to be a new season of Ted Lasso, so maybe
are you gonna watch it?
No, probably not. I did not care for
no
the
one
most
liked
recent
the last
season.
season. No one liked.
Yeah.
Sorry, not everybody.
Some people, I'm sure,
Some
did.
people probably did.
I'm sure Sudeikis loved working on it, but man, what a bad season.
Maybe
that Stonehenge final shot was weird.
Maybe give it another. Maybe they listened. They listen to y'all and they'll give you guys a good one. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to post-credit scenes, I don't know what you would make, but I am like, Hercules should have got, or Brett Goldstein should have got his. Like, he should have got something.
I think like Marvel Studios is moving away from Thor.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Now we keep hearing rumors of like a Thor 5 happening. But maybe without Taika Waititi, maybe we'll see Beta Ray Bill in the mix. Or just a different Thor. But like James Gunn recently said he didn't put Thor in any of his Guardians of the Galaxy movies because he never really understood the character. And I'm like, but what does that mean? He didn't understand it. And I think he's just admitting like, look, he's a Norse god from space. And I think Marvel Studios in a lot of their titles, specifically in Avengers and in Thor Ragnarok, found a pretty good balance of how Thor fits in with the Avengers.
Yeah.
And really his relationship with Loki, I think, was the key to it. What James Gunn, I think, may be saying is like, I never understood how Thor, what its relationship is with the people of Earth, with average everyday people. And can we say, like, other than the scene in, Thor Ragnarok when Thor takes a selfie with two girls in New York, like, have we ever seen Thor have like a real relationship with the people he's saving?
Other than Jane Foster.
Yeah.
That was it. Because he didn't even care about Darcy.
Right. We knew what like Captain America meant. We knew what Tony Stark meant. We kind of even knew what Hulk meant.
And Loki became a being that cared about the people.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I care.
When that German man stood up to Loki in Berlin in 2012 Avengers, like that told us a lot about who this character is to the world. Thor, people are just kind of like trying to process the idea of a god with a cape who can summon lightning.
He's just a god.
Yeah.
Which is hard. I will say is a hard story to like write when you're like, you're just a god. You're just a god. Your brother was you and your brother's relationship in your family was the part that we were paying attention to. And now that it's kind of gone, what am I watching?
Well, it's really frustrating because I feel like Thor Love and Thunder had an opportunity to define what a god is in the MCU. And it backed away from that.
It was just fun. They just made fun of it.
Lena Headey was going to play a god who gets killed in it. And they just didn't show it. And Taika Waititi cut all of it. I think he wasn't the right director for the job to establish that cosmic hierarchy. We never really got to see it. I think Omnipotent City was a joke place. It felt like a Rick and Morty episode.
I think one of the reasons I did like the Thor movies or like the later ones was I was like, oh yeah, this is just fun. I was like, this is just chaos and fun. I don't think it contributed anything to the MCU's like shared universe or where it was going forward. It was just like, oh, this is just a break to be fun and silly. I thought about that with Thor Ragnarok and I thought about that with Thor Love and Thunder.
But at least Thor Ragnarok pulled the trigger and actually had Ragnarok happen. It did see the destruction of Asgard. There were consequences to it.
But
and that's all you really need. It's just like, okay, there is a mythologized apocalyptic event and there's no way to stop it. And it does happen. I love that about Ragnarok. Thor Love and Thunder didn't seem to have any of those consequences.
I think the consequences was with the baby being made from the highest being ever made.
Right.
The highest being ever created. But we didn't spend as much time focusing on that like we did Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And so that's why it like didn't have that same momentum. And also that's why we don't really care about this baby when this baby is like, that is the baby. That technically is kind of what our Franklin Richards is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and the baby's just gone.
All it did was this little kid, Christian Bale's daughter, just fired lasers out of her eyes off of Thor's frying pan.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, the idea that eternity has turned into love in the MCU. What does that mean? I don't think Taika Waititi knows. What does it mean that we don't have a cosmic entity known as eternity anymore?
Yeah.
Is that really what he was saying with that? Or is it just like eternity in this moment broke off part of herself to become the concept of love? All of this stuff is undefined and it feels unspecific and it had an opportunity to make it specific.
100, and it didn't. It didn't. The Hercules Project, I don't think is going to be a movie. I think it's going to be like, it can't be something big because we don't even have anything to connect it. We don't have anything from it. It was a post-credit with his dad, with Zeus, and then I'm like, what am I taking from this?
I think Brett Goldstein shows up in Doomsday in Secret Wars, and that's it.
Okay, I can see it. And that's the thing. until we get, and that's also the hard thing, is like Hercules in the comics doing everything is always with gods and doing god things. So it's like him showing, I'm not trying to give justification to be like, well, he could. I'm just saying, like, in the MCU, what am I getting out of this man that I haven't already got from like Thor, from all the gods? I don't know. I agree with you because of that reason. I'm like, I don't think he needs his own movie.
Yeah, I just think in general, though, Marvel Studios is retreating from Thor.
100. And I agree with that. I agree with that completely.
I think they got something great by casting Chris Hemsworth, and there was like a really great chemistry that was unlocked between Hemsworth and Hiddleston. I think they realized after that it was Hiddleston that was really connecting more with audiences. Chris Hemsworth, though, was definitely holding his own and had great chemistry with the rest of the Avengers
100.
cast, and it worked great in Infinity War and Endgame. But even in Infinity War, the Russos just found like a lucky side story where they put him with 2 CGI characters, 3 CGI characters if you consider Peter Dinklage.
Literally.
Like, just forging something.
Even then, and I feel so bad saying this, that moment I remember. But then even him, like, with Rocket seeing his mom, I kind of forget.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, does it hurt to know that Thor is only going to be pieces to other people's puzzles now going forward?
Well, that's kind of what Hulk has been. Pieces to other people's puzzles.
Oh, but I guess because I'm seeing Hulk actually grow through the entirety of the MCU, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. He's getting to his finish line. But Thor, I was like, I don't think he's grown. He's still the same person. He is still the same person. He is still the same person. The only thing that changed was he realized that, oh, I'm a human. I can't smash things like I used to.
I don't know if, other than Sentry, I think Loki has been the Norse god who's been fun for them to explore.
Yeah, 100.
And I don't know if structurally you need another Norse god as much in the MCU.
We're leaving our Norse gods?
I think they'll always be around in the MCU, but as focal characters. I think we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Thor 5 could be something else, but it's like, who do you center? Like, you can't make that a Beta Ray Bill movie. People are going to be like, this isn't Thor.
It's kind of sad to see just like, but it's also like Thor's been around for a really, 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 really long time. And he's gotten a lot of movies. He's shown up in every movie. And now he's just pieces to other people's puzzles. Just don't put him
I think Marvel just needs to decide what it means to be a god in the MCU before they start making us care about gods.
You're asking Marvel, and Disney doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, they should. I think it'd be fun.
I think they should. Oh, I think they should. I love the fact that we have Catholics and then we have actual living gods walking on our earth.
Yeah.
I love the idea of that. I want to see the religious aspects to what happened with the blip. I want to see how many people were like, you know what? This was God telling us something. Because I'm also like, yeah. Gods can die. They're literally walking in front of us. Also, wouldn't you want to be following Thor as a disciple, whatever you want to call yourself? I'm like, yeah, because I can physically see him here. I can't see Jesus Christ. This is me battling my own demons now. But yeah, I would love for them to do it. I just don't think they're going to get too hard into it. And if they do, it's going to be in Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah. So let's go back through these 3 scoops.
This looks really fun when they're on top of each other.
I know. This is great.
How are you going to break this one up?
Okay, so I think overall we should give an overall grade to the
overall,
Doomsday.
just one?
Yeah, because there's some parts that are plausible, some parts that seem bullshit. I'm going to give an overall poop to this.
Can I ask you, are we giving the overall grade to the concept art or to the just everything?
To this entire thing, if we consider it a scoop, including... I'm going to give it an overall poop.
I'm going to give it an overall poop as a scoop. As a scoop, 100% poop. Keep going.
Yeah, just because like it really does feel like it's compiling different things that exist elsewhere. There was no actual scoop here.
No, 100%.
And I think if they were citing someone who was like someone who was on the set who saw certain things, then I would feel like that's a scoop. But if you're citing concept artists, that's not enough for me to consider it scoop worthy. So I'm sorry, James, that's a poop. And you know, James, I don't know if you've had a real scoop from us yet.
Ooh. I can't. I need to go back and look through them. Once we get our board together with all of them on there, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we'll have an A,
5,
B,
6,
C, D.
We're going to have after Doomsday, we're going to have a truth, false, and then all of y'all are going to be on the false.
Yeah.
All of y'all are going to be on the false.
We'll have like a spectrum of hot and cold, maybe.
Ooh, yeah. And we're just like, which one?
Or just like a scoop of raisins and then a bowl, a toilet bowl.
Why is the raisins a scoop?
Well, a scoop. Like,
2
what do you
scoops?
scoop? Yeah, two scoops.
2 scoops.
Let's see. Or maybe an ice cream scoop. An ice cream scoop and then a toilet bowl. This MCU source, Agatha All Along, renewed for season 2.
No, poop.
Big old poop.
Poop.
Flush it. Flush.
That's so funny, dude.
We want it to be true, but no way.
I would get this tattooed on me because it's funny to me. I'm sorry. The idea that you're like, I said it, and it's true. And it's true.
We don't know who you are. Finally, Daniel RPK, a Hercules Project is reportedly in the works of Marvel Studios. I'll give this a scoop just because I feel like it's coming from someplace that, sure, someone at Marvel Studios be like, yeah, we're thinking about doing something with Hercules.
And I think that's why I'm going to give it a poop because I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you guys are thinking about it, but you're not going to do it. And
Wow,
you're
so
not,
you had
and it's
3
not
poops.
I had 3 poops. I think it's a poop, but I don't have anything against Daniel RPK. I like Daniel RPK. It's just that I'm like, yeah, someone just talking about it in a bathroom doesn't mean that they're going to even put it on a whiteboard.
Yeah, that doesn't count. All right, so I had a poop scoop. Jessica had a poop. Poop turkey.
Poop. Oh, I got the holy trinity of poops.
Gobble gobble.
It's my bad. That's my bad. I do think these are. I think this one is the MCU source one is just silly. I think these 2 are very fun. Think they're very fun.
Agatha and Doomsday.
More so, yeah. Thank you. More so, the Doomsday one would be so fun to see. I would love all these people at the X Mansion just going crazy. It's too much. It's just too much.
Yep. All right. Well, let us know. We want to hear from you. Like, what rumors do you want us to grade? We should have some kind of inbox or some mailbox. Maybe we'll do it on our subreddit to be like, let's compile your rumors here.
I've been reached out in person to, I cannot say what they do, and I almost did. But they were like, I have some things. And I was like, oh, yeah, I need to tell Eric about this.
What?
I haven't. But I'll tell you when.
Someone who like might have a real job somewhere.
Well, if you are watching this and you are these people, you can message me now and I will probably answer this time. Sorry.
So on the Chandler bike path, Jessica walks her cat and then passes by Nate Moore. Who is it? Who is your source?
I'm sorry to keep secrets, but I know I'm like, ooh, if I even give I'm not good with keeping secrets. So if I would accidentally say what by. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I'm also reached out to quite a bit. I don't know if we should do it on this podcast, but people who have actually been on the sets for things. And I don't want to be the scooper source on this show.
Well, my respect thing is and this is what I told them too. I was like, if you can show me proof, then I will bring it to them. I was like, if you can show me, I'll explain what they do. And then you'll probably be like, oh, okay, we can get proof from that. But naturally I was like, I just want to make sure I'm not spewing something that clearly isn't false. I have a job doing more than just the rumor rundown. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to say it if it's clearly a fake thing.
I think what we should do is if one of us does get a scoop, we should bring it to the other and then bring in Brandon or bring in someone else from New Rockstars and have those 2 other people to our face say if it's a scoop or a poop.
Okay.
So it's I don't believe you, Jess. I think that's a poop.
And then I'll be like, oh, message.
And if you get 2 poops, then you have to spin in a circle and go flush, 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 flush.
Well, I don't want to do that. That's just now humiliation.
But if it's
I'm not gonna
if
share
it's
the
at least
scoops.
1 scoop, you get a scoop of ice cream.
Okay, I'll do it. As long as it's Cherry Garcia.
Oh, yeah, Cherry Garcia. For me, what would I do? I would do anything with a texture, like a cookie crumble in there with a bit of jam. I love a good jam and an ice cream.
What the fuck?
Go to Salt and Straw. If you can do a Marionberry jam at Salt and Straw,
just put jelly in ice cream?
Jam, not jelly.
What's the difference between jam and jelly?
If it mixes well with, imagine having a good slab of pie that's crushed up and then mixed in with a really nice custardy ice cream. It's the best.
That's jelly.
You want to be able to lick your ice cream, but I like a bit of texture. In October at Salt and Straw, they do a candy cornucopia. If you work for Salt and Straw, or if you know someone who does, sponsor me. I will shout it out all month long. No,
you eat too many sweets.
I will do it. At some point, Patton Oswalt, I follow him on Instagram, there was Jenny's Ice Cream, just sent him a crate of ice cream. And it's if you can send Patton Oswalt ice cream, can't you send New Rockstars ice cream?
You're gonna.
We'll plug
How do you not have a cavity? You eat so many
sweets.
sweets.
I'm going to live a short life.
I was like, you have so many, you eat so many sweets. You love sweets.
Yeah, I have a problem.
You're like, send me a pint of ice cream.
I just consumed a tub of corn syrup.
You love sugar, but I do like Salt and Straw. Salt and Straw has a great Earl Grey. That's how me and ice cream works. One. I'm like, give me the most grandma ice cream you got.
I generally prefer ice cream that it's just straight up ice cream. I mean, some people consider Salt and Straw the voodoo donuts of
That's how they do
sweets because it is
Ben
a Portland
Jerry's,
brand where it's just kind of ooh, I like the Instagrammy ice
Salt
cream.
And Straw from Portland?
It is. It's a Portland brand, and then it's opened up in a couple other places.
How the hell did I not? I literally live next door to Oregon, and I've never known that. And I only got Salt and Straw here in California. I thought it was just a Cali thing. I don't know.
It is. It's often an unusual ice cream place that has interesting.
Is it Tillamook Dairy? I don't know.
Sometimes they will, but I think generally they just are known for interesting, bizarre flavor. You can do like a mint chip grasshopper.
They do,
one.
yeah, because the Earl Grey one itself, it's so good. It's so, oh my God.
So I get it if you prefer McConnell's or Jenny's
I love
ice cream in LA.
I love McConnell's.
They do have, I think, overall a better mix of flavors. The difference is, though, Salt and Straw has the best cones, has the best waffle cones.
Oh, and that's the thing. I am a cone girl.
I like a good crispy
love a
waffle
cone.
cone. And then some of these other places are too thick in their cones.
I get
too small.
soft. I get
or
too soft.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I need that.
I want a crisp.
Crunch.
I want a
need that
crunch and a crisp. And McConnell's, if you had better cones, I would only ever go to you, McConnell's.
There was a man on TikTok that was explaining American food. He's like, you guys like your food crispy crunchy. Crispy crunchy. It's too crispy crunchy. And I was like, yes, I do.
I like my candy.
I'm not a candy fan, dude. I'd rather eat just a full hot dog from Costco.
Well, I mean, Costco hot dogs are like the best.
Look,
Costco, anything is good.
oh my God.
Hey,
don't get me
Costco,
started.
we know you're hurting right now.
Oh my God.
If you need some sponsorships on
We
your
know
Rockstars.
you're hurting right now. Now, Costco hot dogs, we will promote them like crazy. Can we get just the bath water and the hot dogs here?
Yeah, give us the hot dog water.
Give us the hot dog water.
We'll just drink it.
Dude, I will. Don't worry about it.
All
Okay.
right. Well, this has just become an insane, unrelated to rumors.
We're eating.
All right. If you have any rumors, let us know. Hit us up in our DMs if you work on any of these things, but just be careful. You may be called poop.
Oh,
Jessica, thank you so much for joining us this week. And we'll see everyone next week on the Rumor Rundown. But hey, follow us on podcasts. If you follow us on YouTube, great. We love it. But we're going to be doing some crazy, exciting stuff that's just going to be on podcasts coming up soon. Because we know that a lot of you just want to be able to listen to us. A lot of you commute. So we want to start making content that's just for you guys, too.
yeah, 100%.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.